You might have spent so much of your life looking at yourself through the eyes of others, trying to fit into boxes, meet expectations, or live up to standards that were never truly yours. And I want you to know something today. The moment you start seeing yourself for who you truly are, with all your strengths, quirks, and even imperfections, that is the moment your real power begins. A high-value woman understands that her worth is not negotiable, not conditional, and not something she has to earn by proving herself to anyone else. It simply exists, and it shines brightest when she stops comparing herself to others. Think about the times you've looked at someone else and thought, why am I not like her? Or I could never do that. That thinking steals your light. It keeps you small. But the truth is, the very qualities you think make you different. The traits you may even see as flaws are the ones that make you irreplaceable. Embracing your unique worth is not about arrogance or thinking you are better than anyone else. It's about recognizing that you are enough as you are. You don't need someone else's approval to validate your presence or your dreams. You don't need to shrink or change to be accepted. You only need to step into your own authenticity and let it shine. It starts with awareness. Take a moment to reflect on what makes you different, what excites you, what fuels your passion. These are not random traits. They are clues to your purpose, to the value you bring into the world. Maybe you are fiercely empathetic, someone who can see through pain and offer comfort when no one else can. Maybe you are bold and unafraid to speak your truth when others stay silent. Maybe you have a quiet strength that inspires without words. These qualities are your power, and they are yours to embrace fully. But embracing your worth also means releasing the weight of comparison and judgment. Society, social media, even people closest to us can make us feel like we are not enough, like our efforts, our choices, or our voices don't matter. That is a lie, and when you buy into it, you are giving away the control over your life. High-value women do not let the noise of the world dictate their self-perception. They create an inner space where their worth is acknowledged, nurtured, and celebrated daily. You cannot control how others see you, but you can control how you see yourself. And that perspective, the one rooted in self-respect and confidence, is transformative. Embracing your unique worth also demands courage. It's not always easy to stand firm in a world that wants to label, categorize, and define you. You will face people who question your choices, who try to diminish your dreams, who push you to fit into molds that feel unnatural. But every time you resist that pressure, every time you choose yourself over conformity, you are sending a message: I know my value and I will not compromise it. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the refusal to let fear dictate your life. And when you embrace your unique worth, courage becomes a natural companion, guiding your decisions and shaping your path. Another essential part of this journey is self-compassion. Embracing your worth does not mean ignoring your mistakes or pretending you are perfect. It means being gentle with yourself when you stumble, understanding that your value is not reduced by failures or setbacks. Every challenge, every experience, even the painful ones, adds depth to your character and richness to your story. A high-value woman sees her mistakes as lessons, not as evidence of inadequacy, and she treats herself with the same kindness she offers to others. Finally, embracing your unique worth means living unapologetically. It means speaking up when your voice matters, pursuing what ignites your soul, and making choices that align with who you are, even when it feels uncomfortable. When you fully recognize your value, you no longer wait for validation, for permission, or for someone else to tell you that you deserve success, love, or happiness. You claim it yourself. And that claim is magnetic. People are drawn to authenticity, to confidence, and to women who know their worth because it is rare and powerful. So today, I want you to take a moment and say it aloud. I am enough. I am valuable. I am unique, and I embrace it fully. Say it not as a mantra for anyone else to hear, but as a declaration for yourself. Let it sink in. Let it remind you every day that your worth is not tied to your achievements, your appearance, or anyone else's approval. It is rooted in who you are at your core, and that, my dear, is unshakable. When you embrace your unique worth, you stop living for others and start living for yourself. You start attracting people and opportunities that resonate with your energy. You start setting standards that honor your value. You start becoming the woman you were always meant to be, a woman whose presence, strength, and authenticity cannot be ignored or undervalued. And in that journey, you will discover something beautiful. The world responds to a woman who knows her worth. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you make a choice to invest in yourself every single day, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when the results are not immediate. Being a high-value woman means understanding that your mind, your skills, your mindset, and your emotional strength are your most precious assets. And the more you nurture them, the more you expand your possibilities. Every book you read, every skill you practice, every small step you take to improve yourself adds value, not just to your life, but to the lives of those around you. Too often, we wait for the perfect moment, for the right opportunity, or for external validation before we commit to growth. But the truth is, there is no perfect moment. There is only now. Growth is a daily habit, not a distant goal. It's in the choices you make every morning, in how you respond to challenges, and in your willingness to push beyond your comfort zone. Maybe today, it's dedicating 30 minutes to learning something new, speaking up even when your voice shakes, or reflecting on your emotions to understand yourself better. Each small step compounds into a stronger, wiser, more capable you. Investing in self-growth also means embracing change. Life is constantly evolving, and the women who thrive are the ones who evolve with it. They adapt, they learn, and they stretch themselves in ways that feel uncomfortable at first. Comfort is easy, but growth demands courage. It requires showing up for yourself when it would be simpler to stay the same. It requires choosing long-term value over short-term comfort and believing that every effort you make to improve yourself matters. The beauty of investing in self-growth is that it builds confidence naturally. When you see yourself learning, progressing, and overcoming, you begin to trust your abilities. You realize that no challenge is too big, no obstacle insurmountable, because you are constantly equipping yourself with the tools to navigate life. And that confidence is magnetic. It inspires respect, it creates opportunities, and it establishes your worth in a way that no external recognition ever could. So, I want you to commit today to being intentional about your growth. Read, learn, reflect, practice, and embrace the process even when it feels slow. Your daily investment in yourself is never wasted. It is laying the foundation for the woman you are becoming, a woman who is unstoppable, empowered, and truly high value. Respecting yourself begins with understanding that your time, energy, and emotions are precious. A high-value woman knows that she cannot pour from an empty cup, and she refuses to let anyone or anything drain her without purpose. Setting boundaries is not about being unkind or distant. It is about protecting your peace, honoring your values, and making sure that every relationship and every commitment in your life reflects the respect you have for yourself. When you establish limits, you are sending a clear message, not to control others, but to affirm your worth and insist on being treated with the dignity you deserve. Many women struggle with saying no because they fear disappointment or rejection. They worry about hurting someone else or missing out on opportunities. But the truth is, every time you ignore your boundaries, you lose a piece of yourself. Every time you compromise your standards to please someone else, you diminish your own value. Learning to say no is not selfish. It is an act of self-respect. It is understanding that your life, your dreams, and your well-being are worth defending. And when you stand firm, you attract people who appreciate you for who you truly are, rather than those who seek to take advantage of your kindness. Boundaries also help you clarify what is acceptable in your life and what is not. Whether it's in relationships, at work, or even in your own mind, knowing what you will allow and what you will not creates a sense of control and confidence. A high-value woman does not let external pressures or societal expectations dictate her choices. She decides what aligns with her goals, her values, and her happiness, and she honors those decisions daily. This is not always easy because setting boundaries can provoke discomfort or pushback. But discomfort is temporary. Regret and resentment last far longer if you allow your limits to be ignored. Respecting yourself through boundaries also teaches others how to treat you. People mirror the standards you set. If you tolerate disrespect, you will continue to face it. But when you uphold your boundary, you cultivate an environment of mutual respect and understanding. And beyond relationships, boundaries give you clarity, focus, and energy to pursue your passions, your growth, and your purpose without unnecessary distraction. So today, commit to honoring yourself by setting boundaries. Speak up when something does not feel right, protect your time, and make choices that reflect your worth. By doing so, you are not just creating space for yourself, you are creating a life that values and celebrates the woman you are becoming. Life will challenge you. It will test your patience, push your limits, and sometimes make you feel like giving up. But the mark of a high-value woman is not the absence of struggle. It is the ability to rise stronger each time she falls. Emotional strength and resilience are not traits you are simply born with. They are habits you build, choices you make, and perspectives you adopt. They are what allow you to face adversity with grace, to remain steady when chaos surrounds you, and to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. Resilience begins with self-awareness. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. Recognizing your emotions, accepting them without judgment, and understanding their source gives you the power to choose your reactions instead of being ruled by them. A high-value woman does not let fear, anger, or disappointment dictate her actions. She acknowledges her feelings, processes them, and then decides the best way to respond, calmly, wisely, and intentionally. This awareness is the foundation of true emotional strength. Challenges will come, and not every setback will feel fair. But strength is forged in the fire of difficulty. Every time you face rejection, disappointment, or criticism, and refuse to let it define you, you are building resilience. You are proving to yourself that your value is not dependent on circumstances or on the approval of others. And with each experience, your confidence grows, your perspective widens, and your inner power deepens. Life's obstacles are not roadblocks. They are lessons, opportunities to develop patience, courage, and endurance. Part of cultivating resilience is also learning to adapt. Change is inevitable, and the women who thrive are the ones who flow with it rather than resist it. They understand that setbacks are temporary, that growth often comes disguised as struggle, and that every challenge is a chance to emerge stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the future. Emotional strength is the ability to remain steady in the storm, to keep believing in yourself even when it feels like everything is shifting around you. And finally, resilience grows when you nurture your inner self. Surround yourself with positivity, invest in self-care, and remind yourself daily of your worth. Seek lessons in every experience and refuse to be defeated by fear or doubt. The more you practice resilience, the more it becomes a natural part of who you are, shaping the way you think, act, and influence the world around you. The people, places, and energy you surround yourself with shape the way you think, feel, and act. A high-value woman knows that her environment matters just as much as her mindset. Negativity, criticism, and toxicity can drain even the strongest spirit, while positivity, support, and encouragement can lift you higher than you ever imagined. Choosing carefully who and what you allow into your life is not optional. It is essential. It is a reflection of the respect you have for yourself and the life you are building. Surrounding yourself with positivity begins with your inner circle. Spend time with people who inspire you, who challenge you to grow, and who celebrate your victories without envy. Distance yourself from those who constantly doubt, criticize, or belittle you, even if it is uncomfortable at first. Remember, energy is contagious. If you allow constant negativity around you, it will affect your confidence, your decisions, and the way you see yourself. But if you cultivate relationships filled with encouragement, support, and authenticity, you create a space where your value can flourish. Positivity is also about the voices you allow into your mind. Every day, you are bombarded with messages from social media, the news, and even casual conversations that can make you question your worth or your path. A high-value woman learns to filter these influences, choosing to focus on what empowers her rather than what drains her. She feeds her mind with knowledge, inspiration, and thoughts that encourage growth. She reminds herself daily of her strengths, her achievements, and her potential, because what you focus on expands. Another important aspect of surrounding yourself with positivity is the environment you create for yourself. Your space, your habits, and your routine should uplift and energize you. Whether it's through a clean and inspiring space, uplifting music, or daily rituals that nurture your mind and body, these choices reinforce a positive mindset. Every intentional act of self-care is a statement. You value yourself and the life you are building. Finally, surrounding yourself with positivity means giving back that energy to others. Be a source of encouragement, support, and inspiration. High-value women understand that positivity is not just something to consume, it is something to radiate. When you lift others, you also strengthen yourself. Choose wisely the people, thoughts, and environments you allow into your life. Protect your peace, nurture your spirit, and focus on what elevates you. The energy you surround yourself with becomes the energy you carry. And that energy determines the life you will create. Confidence and purpose are not just traits. They are choices you make every day. A high-value woman understands that living with intention means taking charge of her life, making decisions aligned with her goals, and standing firmly in her truth. Confidence does not come from having everything figured out or from seeking approval. It comes from knowing your worth, trusting your abilities, and taking action even when the outcome is uncertain. Purpose is the compass that guides that confidence, ensuring that every step you take is meaningful and deliberate. Leading with confidence begins with believing in yourself, even when others doubt you. People will question your choices, challenge your vision, and sometimes try to discourage you. But the woman who leads with purpose does not let these voices define her path. She understands that every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen her resolve and refine her direction. Confidence is quiet, steady, and unwavering. It does not boast or demand attention, yet it commands respect naturally because, it is rooted in clarity and self-belief. Purpose gives confidence direction. When you know why you are doing what you do, every action becomes powerful. You no longer move through life passively, reacting to circumstances. You move intentionally, setting goals, creating opportunities, and inspiring others along the way. A high-value woman does not drift aimlessly. She aligns her actions with her values, vision, and long-term dreams. That alignment turns challenges into lessons, failures into stepping stones, and everyday choices into meaningful progress. Leading with confidence and purpose also means taking responsibility for your life. You are the author of your story, and no one else can write it for you. You make decisions, take risks, and embrace accountability for your successes and your mistakes. This ownership builds trust in yourself, strengthens your resilience, and establishes the credibility that others recognize and respect. It is a quiet power that does not seek approval, but inspires admiration and influence through authenticity and action. Finally, confidence and purpose are contagious. When you act with clarity and courage, you inspire others to do the same. People are drawn to women who know their worth, understand their path, and move boldly toward their goals. You become a beacon of possibility, not because you are perfect, but because you are unwavering in your belief that your life matters and that your actions can create change. So, step into your life with intention. Trust your abilities, follow your purpose, and lead with the confidence that comes from knowing you are capable, valuable, and unstoppable. The world will respond to the strength, Clary. Thank you, and courage of the woman who knows her path and walks it boldly.